Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to City News. If you're here for the first time or you're watching this for the first time, you may not notice anything different. But this is not normally where we are. We are usually in the sanctuary, which you can see behind us here, and we have sustained more damage than it really happened very quickly for us. And so the decision was made that we needed to keep everyone out of there. And so on last night, about 6 o'clock, we decided we were going to have church in here this morning. So we are broadcasting out of the fellowship hall this morning, and I appreciate everybody coming up and helping us get all this put together. Why don't we go ahead and get started, Bob? Praise the Lord, and greatly to be praised. His greatness is unfathomable. I will speak of the glorious honor of your majesty and the wonders of your works. I will speak of your mighty acts, and I will declare your goodness. There is no boundaries. There are no boundaries to his greatness. The Lord is good to all, and his compassion on all that he has made. The splendor of the King, Lord in majesty. Let all the earth rejoice, let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, darkness tries to hide. It trembles and voice, it trembles and voice. How great is our God, sing how great is our God. Oh, sing how great is our God. And the things you made him stand, and time is in his hand, beginning and the end, beginning and the end. The God that three in one, Father, Spirit, Son, the Lion and the Lamb, the Lion and the Lamb. How great is our God, sing me how great is our God. Oh, see how great is our God. Name above all names, worthy of all praise. My heart will sing how great is our God. Name above all names, worthy of all praise. My heart will sing how great is our God. How great is our God. Sing how great is our God. Oh, sing how great is our God. How great is our God. Sing with me how great is our God. Oh, see how great is our God.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to those who are here in person. Welcome to those who may be watching us via Facebook or YouTube. We're so grateful that you're here. So now let's just take a moment to go within. God, every purpose of it was. Here we are, another day for which we are eternally grateful for. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for the clouds. Thank you for the rain. Thank you. Thank you. We know that only in our minds can we be separated from the divine. We are whole and complete. We are grateful, so very grateful to be here today. We're grateful for those who are here and those who wanted to be here. We're grateful for our minister and our ministry. We know that everything that appears to be damaged is only a work in progress for something great to unfold. For this and other blessings, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Amen. Amen. All right. Our unity principle this morning is we can demonstrate now the good we desire. I like what Gigi said. The damage that we see and hear is only something happening bigger for us. So that is, we demonstrate now the good we desire. The good we want is back in there as quickly as possible. And our core value this morning is we embrace the unique and diverse experiences in everyone. This morning, the daily word is let go and let God. If I feel unsure of the next step in any situation, I let go and let God. I don't walk away from the difficulty or try to force the resolution. Instead, I release my tight mental grip on the problem and open myself up to solutions. I let go of my desire for control and my need to bring specific outcomes. I believe that there are solutions and remedies beyond what my mind can conceive. I yield to possibility. I trust the indwelling divine presence just as I would trust a mentor. Letting go and letting God means creating space for the dynamic, creative energy of spirit to inspire and surprise me. I'm going to read it one more time. Letting go and letting God means creating space for the dynamic, creative energy of spirit to inspire and surprise me. Divine love, wisdom, and understanding fuel my thoughts, expressed through my words, and guide me in all ways. The scripture this morning is from Psalms 86:11. Teach me your ways, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth. Give me an undivided heart to revere your name. We're always so blessed by your music, Bob and the group. We are both human and divine. We live in a world of dichotomies, both the secular and the sacred. We've learned to navigate our way through it all. From the very, very beginning, we were given the gift of choice. Yes? Yes. Right. Therefore, on some level, we must have raised our hands high and said, send me, I'll go. We must have. And how do I know this? Simple.
life this way, I ponder the many possibilities that's afforded to humanity. I can choose life either hard or soft. I choose soft, like my cushy slippers, excuse me, while I put them on. And if you got the email, I would suggest that you join me and put on your cushy slippers. I would suggest you join me. I prefer life soft. And when I put on my cushy slippers, life feels really soft. Have you ever had on a new pair of cushy slippers? It's soft. That feels so good. This morning, we're going to take a peek at two things. Worldview. Is our stance on worldview, is it hard or is it soft? And we're going to take a look at the God concept, looking at the root and the evolution. This is a big topic. So as I said, we're going to take a peek at it. Then I have a question for you to ponder at the end. Then we'll move into a guided meditation. Take a moment and look at this. Do you believe that the world is dangerous and you have to watch your back? Or do you believe that the world is a banquet of unlimited possibilities? Or do you see the world as a nightmare of hatred, disease, war, and famine? Or do you see the world as an unfolding story? We are exactly where we are supposed to be. When you juxtapose your worldview with the belief in God, I encourage you just to notice how that feels in your body. What would happen if we leaned into our faith and trusted more? What would happen if we chose to love more? 1 John 5:4 says, "For whatever is born of God conquers the world, and this is the victory that conquers the world, your faith," or rather, our faith. Consequently, our life is God life. God is all there is, and all there is God. Temple Hayes, she's a Unity minister, and she's an author. She lives in Florida. She says this: God is our creator, divine intelligence, sacred energy, higher power, and is available to all of us all the time. We talk about God all the time, don't you? God known by 1,000 names. Yahweh, Jehovah, Elohim, just a ton of names. And some by no name at all, you know. But even those people know that there's a powerful energy in the universe. So we talk about God all the time. I thought it would be interesting if we took a little bit of a look at the God concept. Where did it come from? And I got this book. It's entitled "The Many Faces of Prayer: How the Human Family Meets Its Spiritual Needs" by Dr. Thomas W. Shepard. He's a professor of theology and church history. He provides the root of the God concept and the evolution of the God concept. Now, first, knowing these things simply enriches our experience of God. Have you ever walked in a park or a forest? I love walking at River Legacy Park because they have all the trees that create a canopy over the walkway. I love it because it makes me feel as though I'm in a forest, feeling really close to nature. How richer would my experience be if I knew something about the ecology of the forest? Until I started doing this research, I never really even thought about it. Now I will. And even taking a little short course in nature, that would enrich my experience of walking in the forest or the park. Deeper knowledge deepens the experience. So we're going to start with the root of God concept, and it has 3 terms. I always say this when I get really into a subject. Stay with me now. So I'm going to start off. Y'all stay with me. The first 3 terms, animism, animism, and polytheism. Both animism and animism refer to the spirits which reside in beings and objects. They are based on the Latin word anima, which means soul, life, and breath. Animism may be the simplest human religious expression. For those who hold this belief, the power is usually impersonal, it's unseen, and potentially everywhere. This is animism. It's neither good nor evil, but it's powerful and also could be dangerous. It's kind of like electricity. You know, none of us know where electricity really comes from, but it's everywhere. We are electric. We vibrate at either a low vibration or a high vibration, right? So it's sometimes like electricity, which enlivens the individual. It is believed that this power is impersonal, but here again, it's everywhere. Now, animism. Animism takes the divine human encounter to a new level. Animists discover the power of a particular spirit in nature and communes with it. For example, animists believe inanimate objects, including rain, are spiritual beings. Now, polytheism. The mountain is a god or goddess. With the passage of time, the spirit force of the mountain, animism, evolves into a specific mountain spirit, animism, which later acquires personhood as one of many gods or goddesses. That's polytheism. Either the mountain itself or a local god or a god presides in the mountain, in the sanctuary. Some still believe in multiple deities. Oh, how good these cushy slippers feel now. Now, we're going to look at the evolution of the God concept. Stay with me. There are 4 terms: henotheism, classical, which is also known as theism, and monotheism. There's pantheism and pantheism. The first known ruler of the one God concept was the pharaoh Amenhotep. Sometimes I mispronounce that. Amenhotep IV, 1364 to 1347 BCE. He developed a system based on the ancient sun god Ra, whom Egyptians worship as Aten, which is the sun. And it was understood that the Egyptians would worship Aten alone. Okay? Now we come to henotheism, a one-stop shop for spiritual worshipers, for believers. It was kind of like a spiritual Walmart. You know, there was a God for health, a God for success, a God for love. Worshiping, this henotheistic God was like, as I said, opening a Walmart. Eventually, though, things morphed into a cry for an absolute classical or monotheism. There is no God but God. So think of it this way. There is no little g God, but big G God. Pantheism is the idea of the universe as God, and it comes from a Greek word that pan, meaning all, and theos, meaning God. Pantheism comprehends existence as the divine experiences itself. And listen to the names of the people. Many of you will recognize these names who lean in towards this particular belief. Plato, this is from the Western civilization. Plato, Lao Tzu, Spinoza, Beethoven, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Walt Whitman, and D.H. Lawrence, just to name a few. Now we're going to look at traditional pantheism. It stresses the omnipresence of God. Although we exist in God, humans are created as subordinate beings who exist in like a child, a parent-like relationship. Monistic pantheism raises the human existence to the level of divine, one presence, one power, with many localized, finite expressions of an infinite consciousness. Who would that be? Sounds like us, right? So now, clearly, this is a lot of new information. We've traveled a long way on this journey to find out about the God concept and how it came to be. Animism, polytheism, henotheism, monotheism, pantheism, and pantheism. Ooh, these cushy slippers feel really soft now. Spirituality is as much about faith and love as anything else. For whatever is born of God conquers the world, and this is the victory that conquers the world, and that's our faith. 1 John 5:4. God is a mystery, yet this mystery is closer than our breath. Simply put, a minister told me this a few years ago. We were having a conversation, and I think he must have asked me what was my definition of God. And boy, I couldn't wait to tell him. And I rattled off a whole bunch of stuff, what God is. And then he looked at me straight in the eyes and said, I might have asked him, well, I'm sure I did. So how do you define God? What is God to you? And this is what he said. God is. Period. That says to me what we already know. God is everywhere present at once. If God is, there is no room for anything else, no other great power. God is. Paul stood in front of the Areopagus and said, Athenians, I see how extremely religious you are in every way. For as I went through the city and looked carefully at the objects of your worship, I found among them an altar with this inscription: to an unknown God. What therefore you worship as unknown, this I proclaim to you. Instead, he is not far from each of us, for in him we live and breathe and have our being, as even some of your poets have. End quote. In him We live, we breathe, we have our being. Find that scripture in Acts 17:28. I encourage you to check in with yourself and ask, how does my belief in God, be it strong or wavering, inform my worldview? We continue to move and grow on our spiritual journey of life in human forms and also as spiritual beings. Experience it, this wonderful experience of love. Experience it in faith. She slips and soft. Let's meditate. At the end of the meditation, I will end with one chime. I invite you to just take a deep breath. Relax your eyes behind closed lids. Lower your shoulders. If you're holding on to something, would you just sit that aside for a moment and just be here now? Know that you're safe. Know that you're comfortable. There's nothing present for you to do in this moment. As your mind wanders off, simply bring it back to your breath. It's okay, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. You're simply here. You might want to create an image of some aspects of your day. See yourself interacting with people around you in a mindful way. Imagine that you can allow the day to unfold any way you want, without needing yourself or the day to be perfect in any way. Just allow things to be as they are. Know that whatever you encounter today, you will interact without judgment, not needing to cling on too tightly to the positive aspects of your day, and not feeling the need to push anything away if it seems challenging. Just allow everything to unfold in its own way. Breathe in the quality of acceptance into every cell of your body. When we trust in the process of life, when we let go of the need to control things we become aware of, our patience, calm, serenity, and we're able to allow things to simply be.
now we've got a special treat. Audrey Brake is going to come up and sing a lovely song that she has written. She's got some background music here that she's recorded. And I'm going to, and she's even brought in her sound system. So I'm going to bring her sound system up so we can hear that. Sound system.
I was walking in the forest in a melancholy mood when my thoughts began to wander in search of spiritual food. Lord, sometimes I feel so empty, rejected and apart. I need your strength and courage, your comfort for my heart. A voice within me whispered, look toward the ground. I was startled and astonished by the loving, gentle sound. I opened my eyes and saw there a rock, a little stone. I picked it up in wonder. It looked like me alone. The voice said you can see it, but only a small part. The rest must be envisioned from deep within your heart. The places you can see, oh Spirit within its space. The stone is charged with the light of God, like you, it is filled with grace. Suddenly I felt lifted, my heart began to fly, my voice within had spoken. I finally understood why. For if God can love a rock, then surely He loves me. If God is in this little rock, He's certainly in me. I'll never again be lonely. God's love fills me with light. He's in, around, about, and through. He's everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. In and out of sight. In and out of sight. I'm walking at the seashore. I looked down at the sun. I saw a seashell laying there, so I took it in my hand. My voice within me whispered, place it against your ear. I heard the ocean roaring, although it wasn't there. The voice said you can hear it, but only a small part. The rest must be envisioned from deep within your heart. The places you can hear, oh Spirit within its space.
you, Audrey. We're always so blessed by your angelic voice. Now is the time of the service when we have the opportunity to share of our gifts and talents and treasures. What you have, hold it in your hearts and your hands. And we're so grateful for those who have been loyal and steadfast in their giving to Center of Unity. In this, you demonstrate the movement of God in our world. Here in Fellowship Hall, you will see that there are 2 large baskets, one at each door. And that's where you will place your gifts and tithes today. And then receive an affirmation from the small basket adjacent to the large ones. You can drop your gifts off at the end of service. To support those who are watching remotely and to keep you in the flow as well, you can go to centerofunity.org/give and scroll down to the perfect affirmation. Once you select that, that will support you for the week. So together, let's say, divine love adds me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Okay, thank you. So if you're watching this for the first time, we're glad you've chosen to join us. And we invite you to visit our website and fill out the Connect card over there or online. And if you're local, we invite you to visit in person. And if you're visiting us in person for the first time, please complete a visitor card found on the tables with the offering basket and drop it in the basket or leave it at the visitor's desk. We welcome all of you. And now our appreciation is for our congregation. We've highlighted our wonderful congregants in the past, but we can't give enough gratitude for the many ways you support us as we walk through various changes together as a spiritual family. Your prayers, volunteer help, financial support, and your presence are all deeply appreciated. So, to the Center of the Unity congregation, for all of your loving kindness and the grace you bring to us, we love you, we bless you, we truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste. Namaste.
All right. So again, we want to thank everybody for showing up again today. We have a good crowd here in the fellowship hall. We've got a good crowd online. I understand there may be a little bit of an audio delay for you people that are watching us on YouTube and Facebook, and we will do our best to get that fixed by next week, but we kind of put this together at the last minute. So we're going to get that working good for you. Bob, why don't we do our peace song, shall we? Why don't y'all stand up? Let's get together.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me, and this be a moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace
The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
All right, we'll see you next week, folks.
Okay.